exploring new strategies and ideas within the real estate industry. So let's dive right in and get inspired. Nikki, I don't know why you were so nervous, because you are a top agent. You deserve to be here. You know what you're talking about. I mean, the first year in business, Nikki did 17 million, and in the second year, nearly doubled it with 30 million. I mean, who does that? That's amazing.
That's right.
So tell us, like, how you had so much success so quickly. Like, how did that?
It was definitely not speaking in front of 200 people, but okay, so it started out that I had a very close friend who gave me a listing right when I got signed on to Coldwell Banker. So I literally signed the paperwork to join Coldwell Banker Westfield, and my friend said, here is my house, and that was just a win right away. But once I got started, I held an open house in this house on Elizabeth and Scotch Plains, and I remember people came into the house. I had very little experience, maybe a day, and I met these buyers, and they said, we don't like this house, but we want you to take us out and see other houses. So I will never forget, I went out with them. I could barely figure out how to put the key in the door and work the Supra and everything. I remember shaking, and they brought all their extended family to the visit, and I was like shaking, and, and the father of this client, it was a husband and wife, and they were pregnant, and the father said to me, in your experience, what do you think this house will trade for? And I looked at him, and I had absolutely no idea, but I said, $535,000. Not true, it could have been off, but I said it very confidently. And I realized then, that at that point in my career, I was faking it until I made it. And that's what I did in the very beginning. I did not have the experience. I did not know real estate except laying in bed with my husband and looking at Zillow for years when we were living in Hoboken. That was my experience. So from then on, I started, an Instagram page, which was Nikki Schecter Homes, and I went on there and I started posting constantly. And at the time, I had very small children, so I figured the best way to get clients and the best way to get my name out there was to post on every mom's site I could think of. Scotch Plains moms, Westfield moms, Hoboken moms, Jersey City moms, Brooklyn moms, Upper East Side mamas, like every single site. And everything I would do was on those sites. Whether or not people thought that I was really doing a lot of business, everyone kept saying, you're killing it, because I'm like, Saturday showings, here it was. So that's what started me out in the, kind of propelled me, because people started hearing my name. But then as I kind of got more experience, I learned how to, obviously I have a background, I was a school psychologist for 17 years, so I have a background in working with people. So that started me. That was my, my beginning step to getting successful. So I would say that's, the beginning part of it. And then after that, I really learned a lot from Coldwell Banker, my mentor, and everyone. And I think that the beginning is so much about confidence. I was meeting with people that were, in my opinion, much smarter than me, people that were in finance and doctors and lawyers, and they were like, well, the market is this in the city, and I don't think that the house is gonna go for this. And I started to realize that I'm the expert in the real estate field in this market that I work in. They are not. And that, changed it for me, whereas, even though I was a brand new agent, I knew what I was talking about. I knew what that house went for. I knew what people were doing. And I think that shifted some of that power and insecurity, for any new agents when you're meeting with sellers and you're talking to people and they seem like they know, or they think they know, everything about real estate just from, the news. It's different in every market. And I think that was something that held true to me, that I had to start becoming very confident in what I was doing right away, even if I didn't feel that. The other thing that I did that was really important was that I talked about real estate incessantly. Like ad nauseum, wherever I was on a playground, I would talk to them. Oh, but by the way, I'm a realtor, and I weaved it into every conversation. I remember my daughter at the time was potty training, and I met this woman on the playground, and I said, oh my God, can I use your bathroom? And it was the true story. She had to, if you're a mom, you understand, you have to go. And so we went to the bathroom, and I came back, and 3 months later, that was my Westfield listing. It was one of my first listings. And, I met somebody very recently I listed a house in Westfield, and she called me and she said, do you remember 4 years ago, you met me when you were getting our nails done, and you told me you were a realtor? And I didn't even really remember that, but I remember when I first started, my mentor had said to me, talk about real estate 5 times a day, and eventually, you know, people will start talking to you about real estate. And that is what happened. I just weaved it in, and sometimes it felt unnatural. You know, you're having a turkey sandwich and you're like, oh, and I'm a realtor and this is my building, and, you know, but you just do it and you get to know people and you talk about yourself, and, you know, you ask them about you as well. And I think that kind of helped me in the very beginning to get really, like, as where I am today.
Remember when you said you were nervous?
I'm not nervous.
Because what I took away from that is know what you're talking about, which
Yeah.
you clearly just did, and use your kids.
Talk about everyone else, your husband, your kids, not yourself. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Nikki.
sure.
All right.